Peace family, conjurequeen here, and I just want to give a huge shout out to everybody who wished me birthday wishes, to everybody who's been supporting me and showing love. Recently my birthday just passed, which was July 6th, and it's been a lot of time of deep reflection and just looking back on my past and how much I've grown, how much I accomplished. I think as spiritual people, as just, humans in general, a lot of the times we work so hard and we strive towards different goals and agendas, and we don't really give ourselves enough credit. And this video more so is for people who feel as though they always do so much and maybe they're not seeing the fruits of their labor, or maybe they feel like, they're not where they want to be in life. I just want to give you some motivation and inspiration. Okay, 5 years ago, I took a leap of faith and I quit my 9-to-5. I was working a city job. I was miserable. I was bored there. I just knew it wasn't where I needed to be. And Spirit told me this is not my destiny. I'm not meant to sit in a cubicle for the next 20, 30 years of my life. So I took the leap of faith, even though everybody around me told me I was crazy. I should have stayed at the job. It was just suicide to pretty much financial suicide to just leave a job like that with the benefits and everything that came with it. The thing is, I trusted me. I knew that it was more for me than just that. Most of my life I went throughout school and, my career, my life, not really knowing what I wanted to do in my life. You feel me? For those people who probably feel a little lost, don't know your purpose, don't know what you're supposed to do, or maybe you're stuck in a dead-end job and you just know that there's more to you than just, sitting behind a computer or, typing or making files and stuff like that. That your life is bigger than that. I would say this: in 2015, I took a leap of faith. I started selling my own candles. I started hustling. I'm a Brooklyn girl, so as a Brooklyn head, you already know, we always got hustles. We have a hustler spirit, and using that mentality, that hustle spirit, I took the opportunity to create something out of nothing. I started making homemade candles, luxury candles, selling at vending on Fulton Street, downtown Brooklyn. Next thing you know, I'm like, I'm going to quit my 9-to-5 permanently, and I'm just going to do this entrepreneurship thing full time. And so everybody else, people was discouraging me, telling me you're crazy, don't do that. But I just had this faith in myself. I'm like, what? I know probably I'm not going to sell candles for the rest of my life, but I feel like this is opening up the gateway for something else. Those candles have taken me to so many places. I've met so many different entrepreneurs. I have made so many connections and networks that, even after I stopped doing the candle business, I met great people. I met people who were leaders, people who were influencers, people who were rich, people who were successful, people who were charismatic. I've learned so much from these people, and a lot of these people became my friends. And even to this day, we're still very close. And that told me and taught me that the people that you hang around with, the people that you socialize with, are the people that is what you're going to become. So if you're hanging around a whole bunch of broke people, people who ain't got nothing going on, they ain't got no type of career, no motive, no drive, they just sitting at home not doing crap, but just talking smack about the next person's life, or just scrolling on their timeline, looking at everybody else's life and judging everybody else. But meanwhile, they got all these problems going on in their own life. People like that, I don't want to associate with anymore. I lost a lot of friends, a lot of associates doing stuff like that. But, that's just part of life. Sometimes we got to go through chapters. Sometimes some people come in our life just for a chapter. You feel me? And that's it, and that's cool, and that's okay. And we just meant to learn that lesson and move on. But 2015 was a very transformational time for me. Within the past 5 years, I have really grown so much. Timeline, baby, 2015, quit my 9-to-5, did my entrepreneur thing. And then I started my YouTube channel, right? I broke up with a long-term relationship. I took a leap of faith. I chose me over that toxic relationship. A lot of things happened in 2015. Boom, 2016, I moved out. I was living in a really hectic situation. I moved out, found my own place by the grace of God, by the grace of spirit and ancestors. I didn't know how, you feel me? Money wasn't great like that. Being an entrepreneur doesn't mean you're going to automatically be rich. And I just want to tell you guys that being an entrepreneur means that sometimes you're going to be dirt broke. There was one time I'll never forget, I only had $8 in my freaking bank account, and I didn't know how I was going to pay my rent, how I was going to feed myself. It just came to me. I'm like, yo, I got to, like, I'm good. Like, first of all, I knew I was good. I'm like, okay, you know what? I'm not going to stress about this. I know that money's going to come to me some way, somehow. I'm going to be taken care of. I did not come this far. Spirit did not bring me this far just to drop me off and be like, all right, look, you got to find your way now. Nah, like, my spirit guides, my ancestors, they got me. They got me. And I know I'm good. And that's the faith that I just have in them and I have in myself. And everything always works itself out. Boom, 2016, like I said, I moved out. I had my own place. I started to become more independent. And I was pretty much like feeding myself. My business was feeding me. My candle business was feeding me. I was vending. I was connecting. I was doing stuff like that. In 2017, that's when I started to really start the divine royalty. I started to more so like, I guess, get more serious with the YouTube videos, really connecting more with other spiritual people, building divine royalty community. 2018, moved to New Orleans, you know, took that 2-year little like pilgrimage, right, to get spiritual insight. And now it's 2020 and I'm just looking at my eyes, looking at my life with 2020 vision, and I'm just looking at how far I've come. You feel me? Like, and yo, like, I just have to say that I'm a very humble person, but sometimes you gotta just like acknowledge like when you really doing something out here. And I feel like it's usually the most humble people that have a lot going on and they don't give enough praise. Like they don't even praise themselves enough. So the reason why I'm making this video is not to brag, because I'm really not a bragger. It's more so to encourage whoever it is that's watching this to understand that you can make something out of nothing. Like, you don't have to come from a rich family in order to get connected, in order to be rich, in order to, you know, have a nice house, in order to, you don't need none of that. All you need is an idea. All you need is the belief in yourself, courage to go forward, and then find resources. All you got to do is just keep your mind on that thing that you want. My desire to free myself from financial lack, like maybe it's the Cancerian in me, but security is a big thing to me. And I feel as though if I don't feel financially secure, I'm not happy. So I'm like, all right, I like to be happy. I like the things that money buys. I like to not have to worry about, you know, food not being in my fridge, or, you know, if I'm going to have a roof over my head like the next month. Like, I don't like worrying about stuff like that. So my drive to be hungry for winning, for success, for thriving, for prosperity, it was just me analyzing the background from which I've come from and realizing that I don't want to go back there. I know what it's like to struggle. I know what it's like to come from nothing. I know what it's like to literally depend on yourself in order to survive. So I'm like, I don't want to have to go back there. So I had to start getting creative. You will become creative when you're when your back is against the wall. That's when the genius in people come out, is when they have nothing, or when they literally are back behind a wall, or if it's a life or death situation. You feel me? And this is my life I'm talking about. And I love myself. I love my life. And I'm like, nah, I'm not going to throw my life away. I'm not about to just stop. Like, I have to win. Failure is not an option. And so, like, I want you, whoever's watching this, to like have that mindset where you don't even make a failure an option. Like, when I took the leap of faith in 2015, I didn't have no safety net. I had no net. I'm like, yo, this is my only option. Success is the only option, so there is no room for failure. And that's the only thing that I focused on. If you worry about, well, what if this don't work? What if I fail? What if I fall? What if everybody laugh at me? Then you already blocking yourself. You gotta look past that. You gotta not have any fear in your heart. Then you gotta trust yourself and know that you're taken care of, that you're good. And most of all, you got yourself. So I say all of this just to say that life is a beautiful thing. I am very blessed. I am grateful for this platform. I'm grateful for everybody who's been supporting me. I am grateful even for the people who didn't believe in me, for the people that was, you know, trying to discourage me from following my dreams and wanted me to stay at a 9-to-5. Like, yo, if I would have stayed in a 9-to-5 office, like, I would not be as happy, as successful and prosperous as I am today. I'm just very grateful. I'm a humble person, but at the end of the day, it is what it is. I worked hard. I bust my ass to get where I'm at, and nothing is ever handed to you. Nothing was handed to me. So I'm going to say this: if you want that lifestyle, or if you want whatever it is, whatever goals or dreams you have, go for it. Don't let nobody tell you that your dreams are too big for you. Maybe your dream is probably too big for them, but the fact that you have that dream means that it is for you. And what's for you, nobody can take from you. What's for me, nobody could take from me. This is given to me. You feel me? This is a blessing for me. And I'm just really happy to be alive in this time. Even though there's a lot of craziness going on in the world, I have to say that 2020 has been very enlightening for me, very transformational for me, and allowing me to sit down and focus more so on self, to realize all the achievements and the blessings and the great things that have transpired. And like I said, this YouTube channel, this whole platform, I originally created as a diary for myself, and it grew into something much more beautiful and attracted like-minded souls and spiritual people on a similar journey, and I'm so grateful for that. So I just want to say this: thank you, everybody who's been supporting me. Life is ever evolving, is ever changing. Nothing is constant. The only constant thing is change, and the less you resist, the more pleasurable it will be. The more you fight, the more rough things will get. And always understand that challenges are only making you better and stronger, and they always give lessons, right? So always keep that in mind. Every challenge that comes your way is like a level up, and you will get through this. You will get through it. But thank you, everybody, for all your support, for all of the love, for the donations, for becoming a Divine Royalty family member, for just being here, sharing this experience with me. I'm happy to have contributed, in your life, and I'm happy that we have crossed paths, because nothing happens for a reason. But anywho, I'm gonna go. I'm in New York right now, so I'm still on my little vacation. I'm still, doing a lot of introspection. I know y'all probably been wondering, where Conjure Queen at? And I told y'all sometimes I tend to disappear for a little while, but I'm good. Like whenever I'm, off in action, I'm doing something behind the scenes. I'm working on myself. I'm building, and that's what we as spiritualists need to do, is understand the balance between, coming out and then going within. There has to be a balance. Even the moon does it. The moon shows itself for a little while, then the moon hides itself for a little while. But anyway, I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go before I talk your ear off. Anyway, thank you for tuning in. Like, comment, and subscribe, and share. Until next time, Conjure Queen signing out. Peace.